Trump shares a jovial handshake with Joe Rogan, who once called him a man baby and an existential threat to democracy. Former Donald Trump shared a friendly handshake with Joe Rogan at the UFC fight in Las Vegas, despite Rogan previously calling Trump a man baby. Trump enthusiastically approached Rogan at the event, and the two engaged in a friendly conversation, a 10-second handshake. Rogan has been critical of Trump in the past, referring to him as a man baby and declining opportunities to interview him. Rogan expressed his lack of support for Trump, stating that he doesn't want to help him and views him as an existential threat to democracy. Despite their differences, Trump and Rogan had a cordial interaction at the UFC fight.
And
so
Pat,
go ahead. The question becomes the following, okay, when you see this, okay? Yeah. If you look at this, because I want you to see this, go back to the handshake to show this. You know,
I love these handshakes, Pat. Yeah. They're the most aggressive. Trump is always playing tug of war.
Get over
like,
here,
look at his handshake. Look, he's like, get in here. Watch. I love it. He goes, you're a good guy. You're a good. Look at shit.
You could just see he's complimenting Rogan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's like, we should have a talk.
So here's the question.
Yes, sir.
Over under the podcast taking place with Trump and Rogan.
80% yes. It's gonna happen. 80%.
I think it is going to happen. I'm not going to give a percentage, but
give a percentage, Lauren. Okay. Take a risk.
67.
Oh wow!
Yeah. That it's happened.
That
2/3 is how she's doing it.
I think 80%.
Where are you going with this?
Well, I'm asking you. I asked you.
Pat looks like he has an insider. Look at Pat's grin. See that?
It's cheating if you already
Pat
know
has that look that his son has when he knows he messed up.
Yeah.
Pat knows. See that laugh?
All right.
knows
So
something.
you want to go first? Well, I'll just cite 2 quotes. You set up the man baby thing. That was on a podcast he did with Tom Segura in 2022. It's not a 2016 conversation. And then in 2022, Rogan had a podcast with Lex Friedman, and he said, he was asked multiple times, would you do a podcast? He said, no. Every single time, quote unquote, I have no interest in helping him. This is in 2022. So as of a year ago, it was 0%. I think at this point, based on the UFC audience, how things have changed quite significantly, I will give it and I think it's a high number, 20%.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
But Pat, it goes off of what
you're saying 80, you're saying
I think
67.
80% he's gonna do it. And Pat, this just goes into what we just talked about, like tolerance and like he's changing as a person. Like, bro, he's seeing the light. Joe Rogan was anti-Trump and everything right now, but now that he's seeing what the left has done, he's pro-Trump right now. I don't care what anybody says, bro. He's shaking his hand, smiling.
Which
he was a
clip
fan.
He called him a man baby a year ago.
A year ago. Well, a lot can change in a year.
This is
true.
He's a man
That's
baby
true.
doesn't mean he doesn't want to interview him.
You want to play
Well, I'm
that?
just glad that he's still considered a man.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you're talking about, what he said?
What do you say here?
This is the Lex Friedman interview from last year where he said he won an interview.
Play it, Rob.
Lex Friedman. Wow.
Friedman. I didn't know.
Not Friedman, Rob.
Well, he didn't want to say that because Rob's been going to the gym, so he doesn't want to be considered a white man.
That
Biden
beard, January 6th.
shakes hands with people that aren't even there when he gets off stage.
Yeah.
I think he's seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Biden.
You see him on Jimmy Kimmel the other day?
No.
Well, he was just rambling. I mean, if he was anyone else, if he was a Republican, if that was Donald Trump doing that, every fucking talk show would be screaming for him to be off the air. And by the way, I'm not a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form. I've had the opportunity to have him on my show more than once. I've said no every time. I don't want to help him. I'm not interested in helping him.
The night is still young. We'll see.
If I have him on, the night is still young?
Yeah.
You think I'll have him on?
I think you'll have him on.
Really? Yeah. Why do you think that? Because you'll have Putin on?
And you're competitive as fuck. No.
You can pause it right there.
What's the date on that? Timestamp that.
This is...
Well,
this
that
is
came out
probably-
July 5th of 2022.
So that's
Exactly
a year
you're-
ago.
Yeah.
Pat, but think about this. I don't want to help him, but the Biden and the left, I don't say because Biden has no idea. He's not making decisions.
Yeah.
They have shit on this country so much. Now it's not what now he's gonna help him. No, now he's a prime example of seeing just what the media and everybody did to the left. Go ahead, and what?
No. Before Pat reveals his results,
Yeah.
you want to have a bet?
Let's have a bet.
All right, I'll bet you $1,000
$1,000
that he does not have him on.
that he doesn't interview him.
Correct.
Wait, by when?
By God,
By the time that Trump
presidency
is or is not the president.
Before November 2nd or 3rd.
Sure.
You're saying $1,000 he doesn't interview him.
Yeah.
It's a good bet.
I'll go $500. Hey, listen,
Vinny, what happened to having conviction?
No.
What happened to having tolerance, Vincent?
I think $500 is a big number.
$500.
Do you want
I'll
to
bet
do it?
500.
$700.
Adam, the idea is $500.
$500
Do you want to do it?
All right, I don't usually do bets for less than 1,000.
Okay,
but fine,
relax,
Vinny.
Mr. Miami.
All right,
Okay.
$500
$500 bucks.
I'll pay it. We'll pay it live.
Verbal agreement.
Verbal, digital.
By the election.
So you're
November
saying it's not going to
I'm
happen
saying it's not going to
before
happen.
election.
Correct. And if it happens, I pay you $500 bucks.
got it.
That's $500.
And if
So-
it doesn't happen,
Got you.
So here's
You
what
pay-
I would say.
Yes.
So here's what I would say. I think the one thing that's been very consistent with Joe Rogan over the years, that he's so open-minded that his positions can change.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
True.
He never thought he would have RFK on before. Okay. And now he had RFK on. Even the opening, he says, "Look, I thought you were a loon. I thought this. I thought that. I thought this. But then listen, I met you, Casa D'Angelo. Okay, you know, but whatever. No, he didn't say Casa D'Angelo. I met you in Aspen. We talked. I'm like, okay, I want to have you on. And I thought it was all this vaccine stuff. And I was a guy that was a vaccine person. But you're making a lot of sense. And I read the book. Okay, great. He's done this so many times. He went from Bernie Sanders to saying voting Republican. Okay,
correct. The evolution of Joe.
So meaning there is that evolution with Joe for this to take place. Here's the other part. The whole concept about I've shared with Joe what my thoughts are on the interview with Trump. He knows it, but the idea about I don't want to help him has to be replaced, in my opinion. You're not helping him. You're helping America. Meaning, if the idea is you don't want to help America, I think, Joe, you want to help America, and you've been helping America. In my opinion, you're the number one guy. You're the GOAT when it comes down to podcasting. And not only that, during COVID, the most super necessary guy in America was him. Forget before Musk buying Twitter in October of 2022. Before any of that, it was Joe Rogan.
Not
okay?
Dr. Fauci, Pat?
No. So the point I'm trying to make is if you believe America needs to see the opposing side of the argument, I think Joe needs to have Trump on. I think he needs to have DeSantis on. I think he needs to have Newsom on. Because I think it's going to be Newsom. Biden won't go
They
in
would
a
he
million
would
years.
never.
But I
agree
would,
to a
but I would
3-hour
die to see that.
conversation.
But I would love to see.
You know what I would
Biden.
love to see? If since he smokes weed with Elon Musk, I would love to see Joe Rogan smoke crack with Hunter Biden. I mean, Joe doesn't need to smoke it, but I think that would be views. We're in an eyeball attention economy. Well, I'm here with Hunter Biden smoking some crack.
I think eventually it's more likely to happen. I'm more 55%.
Could we bump? We want to bump.
55%, yes.
So you want to bump it to 1,000?
Oh, all of a sudden.
Because I don't know. I don't know.
It just shows you have no conviction, buddy.
I bet $500, bro. I'm not.
Okay. So you're at 80%. You're
I'm
at
at 80.
67%.
Yeah, I do. I do
You're
think
at
it would
55.
happen
I'm at
because
20.
Rogan's saying he doesn't want to help him, but it seems like, at least with RFK, his approach wasn't necessarily "I'm helping you" or "not helping you." It's just we're just having a conversation, and people can decide. And if Trump is an idiot, if he's an extremist, if he's whatever, sitting down for 3 hours, people are going to see through that. So it might even hurt him. Who knows? But I think his audience would decide, and I think Rogan likes
To be clear, I actually would like to see that interview.
course.
Yeah.
I'll gladly lose $500
if it means we can
to see that interview. I think it'd be amazing, but I think we're doing a disservice to Trump to compare RFK's viewpoints to how he feels about Trump.
This has nothing to do with RFK.
No,
This has
but
to-
I'm saying he criticized some of his views, but he still had him on.
No.
Yeah.
It's a different beast with Trump.
What do you mean with how the interview with Trump's going to do versus RFK?
Meaning his feelings about RFK were not as intense or exaggerated as they are with Trump. He never called RFK a man baby, and he never said he would never want to have him on or help him whatsoever. He kind of had some.
Joe is a very interesting individual with a high self-awareness and a level of comfort of being wrong and a level of conviction in areas where he is certain that he's right. And this is a guy that if there's a guy that would be able to, interview, would be able to change his position and be open to the idea, it's Joe. And if that happens, so I'll let you guys know if that happens. It's kind of going to be done 2024, dog. It's going to be like, hey, kiss it goodbye, everybody else, go home.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.